Yeah, I totally believe that. There's always too much noise and too much conversation about spinning tracks. I'm sure that if our media is in a space to contradict those views or present views which say that it is unfair to criticize only spinning tracks, then I think it'll be a balanced conversation. But the unfortunate bit is that everyone sort of plays along with that narrative and just keeps making it a news till the time it's relevant, and then a test match happens. If we win on day 4 or day 5, no one says anything. But if a match finishes in 2 days, everyone pounces on the same issue. It's just becomes an issue to talk about. We lost in New Zealand on day 3 in 36 overs. I'm sure none of our people as well wrote about the pitch. It was all about how India played badly in New Zealand. And none of the pitches were criticized. No one came and saw how much the pitch was doing, how much the ball was moving, and how much grass there was on the pitches. So the reason for our success as a team has been that we haven't cribbed about any pitches that we played on, and we would continue to play like that as a team. Answering your first question, I think Jimmy Anderson is a world-class bowler. I probably would have thought way too much into how to handle him in England in 2014. I think from then onwards, I've treated every bowler as someone who's running in with the ball, and I just need to play the ball, not the bowler. Having said that, he's gotten quite close to dismissing me a few times since then as well. Even in the last tour of England, a couple of catches were dropped. Even last game, a catch was dropped. So I could have been out a couple of more times to him. But that doesn't make anyone a bunny. Again, these are conversations which are quite one-sided. I've seen batters who are dismissed by other bowlers way too much. But it just becomes a conversation for people when they plot me and Jimmy against each other. We obviously have a lot of respect for each other's skill sets, and it's always great to come up against world-class bowlers, and he's surely one of them. Playing for so long, and without that much skill and commitment, you can't play for that long. So you always have to be at the top of your game when facing him, and I've just continued to do that. It's just been so that in the last few games that we played, he hasn't dismissed me, but that doesn't mean that he's not a potent bowler or he's not, his skill is not good enough anymore. And answering your second question, no. I'm not in any haste or any desperation, because I understand where I stand as a batsman, how I'm playing, what my responsibility in the team is. And people look at things from a very different point of view. They look at milestones. If the team doesn't do well, they look at captaincy. If the team does well and batsmen don't perform, they look at individual scores. So for me, these are just issues oscillating between one another. My responsibility as the captain of the Indian cricket team and as a batsman is to score runs, make sure that I keep pushing the team forward, get involved in partnerships. Along that process, if milestones happen, great. If they don't, the team should win. At the end of the day, that's our main goal, and that's always been my goal. I don't understand why a ball, a cricket ball, the cricket pitch, all these things are brought into focus. Why don't we just focus on the fact that the batsmen were just not skilled enough on that pitch to play properly? And it was a bizarre display of batting by both teams in a test match. And I will continue to maintain that, because I've played this game long enough to understand what happens on the cricket field. And it's not a change in ball color or the change in a cricket ball. It's still round. It still weighs 5.5 ounces. So I don't know what difference it makes suddenly. The surface in Chennai was different in the first game. This track has more pace than that. You could see the fast bowlers as well. None of the balls went through on the Chennai track like it did for Ishant in those first couple of overs, or Bumrah as well. So the track in general has a bit more pace, and that's the result of the clay that's been laid in on the pitch. So it's very important to understand these small little details of the game. If you just make a cricket ball helping the bowlers a focus, or the pitch helping the bowlers a focus, then you're not really reading the game properly, in my opinion. And it's just a case of the wicket having a bit more pace and bounce. And I don't think that the red ball is going to change that whatsoever. And I would still maintain that the result in the last game was purely down to bizarre batting from both sides. Had we scored more runs in the game, then that game wouldn't have been over in 2 days. It would have gone three, maybe first half of the fourth day as well. So yeah, it was just poor batting. Look, I think it might work for to be. If you want me to be brutally honest, it might work for teams who are not that motivated to play Test cricket. Teams that, like us, who are motivated to play Test cricket and want to win Test matches and keep Indian cricket team at the top of the world in Test cricket, we have no issues whatsoever, whether it's a World Test Championship or not. I think for teams like us, it's just a distraction when you start thinking of the World Test Championship. Eventually, it's only a game of cricket. Even that game, a World Cup final, semi-final, anything you take, it's a game of cricket at the end of the day. And if you're not motivated to play a normal game of cricket, and you're extra motivated to play a game of cricket which has some incentive to it, for me, as an individual, that's unacceptable. And we as a team have never played in that mindset. For us, any game is important. We are going to go for a result whenever the opportunity presents itself, and that's why people want to watch us as a team now. So you could ask some other teams that probably wouldn't have looked at Test cricket as priority, but for us, it really doesn't change anything. As I said, if we start thinking too much about it, then that is a distraction from our process and plans that as a team we're very happy with, in the direction that we moved ever since 2014-15. When the young team started transition, we've been very happy in the direction we moved ahead, and we're going to go in the same direction. It will be lovely if you ask us this question on an England, New Zealand, Australia tour, not when you've seen two turning pitches in India. So that question for me is irrelevant at this point of time.